back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Claire and this is The Wanderlust Way. Firstly, let me say a huge thank you to everybody that supports this channel by liking, commenting, subscribing and sharing. All your interactions are helping the channel to grow, and for that I am really, really grateful, so thank you. Right then, what adventure are we going on today? Well, if you are not new to the channel, then you might remember back in December we did one of the £99 Wowcher Mystery Breaks. Well, we're doing it all again, and this time we are heading to Prague, which I'm incredibly excited about because I have never been to Prague and I've heard it's very, very spooky. So I've spent a lot of time doing a lot of research and I've found some really cool things for us to get up to. So I cannot wait to share them with you. I'm going to split this video up into multiple sections, but this is going to be the very first one, and this is going to be the travel day. So I'm literally going to take you from door to door. We are going to start off obviously at my house, and we are going to end the video at the hotel in Prague, which is part of the Wowcher mystery deal as well, so that's included. So this video is going to comprise of, I'm going to stop at the Premier Inn tonight at Manchester Airport. Then we're going to have a little look at the parking. I can show you how much the parking costs, things like that. Then we're going to go to Terminal 3 at Manchester Airport. So if you haven't seen inside Terminal 3, I'll give you a little sneak peek. Then we've got a Ryanair flight. We've got a private transfer, which we have pre-booked. I'll tell you about that when we get to that point. And then finally, we'll check in and we'll see what this hotel's going to be like. So that's lots of exciting things happening in this episode. Thank you for coming along on the adventure. That's enough waffle. Let's wander. Manchester Airport is one of the busiest travel hubs in the UK, whisking millions of passengers off to adventures near and far every year. It's just 9 miles south of the city centre and has 3 terminals, serving a huge range of airlines including Ryanair, Jet2, Emirates and British Airways, flying to destinations all over the world. As we've got an early flight, we'll be stopping overnight at the Premier Inn, making things a little bit easier in the morning. Then it's time to head to Terminal 3 and board our Ryanair flight to Prague, kicking off this 3-day adventure in the heart of the Czech Republic. There are plenty of hotels near Manchester Airport, from budget to luxury. We opted for the Premier Inn, which many of the British viewers you'll all know well. But for my international viewers, the Premier Inn is basically a popular UK hotel chain. It's found all over the country, not just at airports, and they're pretty much all quite similar, so you know what to expect when you arrive. They're known for comfy beds and good value. It's perfect really for a stress-free stay before an early flight, and many of them offer on-site dining. So it's quite a good position. You've got the Holiday Inn Express there, and then there's AD, and then you've got the Premier Inn. We're in the north, Premier Inn Runga Lane North, but then directly opposite is the Premier Inn Runga Lane South. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of the location. And then tomorrow, when we get the car parking, I'll show you exactly how far it is from this location to the airport. Three papers. Well, that was pretty straightforward. We have now checked into the Premier Inn. We used the little machine thing and spat out a card for us. It actually looks quite a nice Premier Inn, this. We're going to go and check out the restaurant in a minute and the bar. But Adie's just reminded me, this was actually quite a good deal. It cost us £30 for this room, which is really...
36?
All right, it was. I'm exaggerating. It was £36 for this room, and we've just noticed that you do have to pay for parking though, so I think that's going to be an extra £12. But I will confirm it in the morning. But so far, can we see the airport? Let's have a look. Can we see the airport from here? We can. Don't know if you can see that because of the reflection, but yeah, we're very close to the airport. So it'd be interesting to see what the noise is like in the middle of the night or when the planes start taking off. But we've not got to be up too early. I think 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that, we need to be heading over to the airport. I'm just having a little look in the room at the menu for the restaurant before we go downstairs. And I've just said to Adi, to be fair, considering they could absolutely monopolise this, they haven't done. The prices are not too bad. I think I'm fancying a pizza, $13.99. But yeah, it is slightly, I'm sure it's slightly different to the last time I stopped in a Premier Inn. Slightly different menu. I don't know, they all have different restaurants, don't they? But we'll go downstairs and we'll see. So we've got pizza going on. And we've got some chicken wings and some coleslaw. 5 chicken wings, count them. Yeah.
6.
6, so that's a bonus. And then them loaded fries. Good morning. So we've had a peaceful night's sleep at the Premier Inn, and it was really quiet. So if you are thinking of staying here, I can recommend it. Couldn't hear any airplanes. That noise you're hearing is my suitcase. It was £12 for the parking here at Premier Inn, and now we're going to go to the car park. It took us about 6 to 7 minutes to get from the Premier Inn car park right to the Terminal 3 multi-storey car park, so really not far at all. Right then, so we have arrived at the Terminal 3 multi-storey car park. We always book this, well, generally we book it through Holiday Extras, don't we, Adi? Which we've found to be one of the cheapest. We have booked it directly through Manchester Airport website as well before, so it's worth comparing when you are booking. But this time Holiday Extras was the cheapest, and if you do Holiday Extras, we also found that we got top cashback as well. So I don't know if you guys use the top cashback site. By the way, I am not affiliated with either of these websites, so I am genuinely giving you our money saving tips on this. So the Terminal 3 multi-storey car park is really, really close to the actual Premier Inn. I think it was about a 7-minute drive, the sat-nav said. And then it's really just a short walk straight into the terminal, which... So, I've probably already mentioned it, we're doing Terminal 3, which I'm going to be honest is my least favourite terminal out of all of the terminals here at Manchester, and I'll show you why when we get there. Terminal 3 opened in 1989, and I'm told it spreads over an area of 44,400 metres squared, making it the smallest one at Manchester Airport. It has the usual duty-free offerings, albeit a small selection, and some of those well-known shops we've all come to expect before a flight, such as Boots and WH Smith's. I've heard there's a private lounge, but it's not something we've explored yet. If you have, then please let us know whether you think it's worth it for future trips. And like the shops, the food options are pretty limited here too. Yes, you've got Cafe Nero and Costa Coffee, but there's only 2 places to sit down and have a proper meal. There's what looks to be like an Italian, and then there's the Lion and Antelope, which takes the centre stage and seems to always be the most popular of the 2. This is the first time we've visited T3 and actually managed to get a seat in the Lion and Antelope, so it's time to grab some breakfast and see whether it was worth the wait. AD, why have you got 2? What are they?
Espressos.
Not just espressos, are they?
Double espressos.
2 double espressos.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, it's going to be like sat next to a toddler on the plane being sat next to you.
I'm just going to get a bag of Haribo's in it.
Yeah, I'm on. I have double espresso, but you have a great whacking bacon bat.
You were offered a sandwich and you didn't want one.
No, there's only one.
Bacon is very, very crispy. So I'm going to see. That looks quite good. So I'm going to see whether my teeth will stand up to this.
Nice batch.
Nice batch, yeah. This bread's like brioche texture.
It's not MasterChef.
It is. Well done. You're through to round 2.
For food on the go, there's a KFC serving station, a bit of a wine bar which sold cold snacks, and some other small vendors. But while Manchester Airport is one of my favourites in the UK, Terminal 3 is, as I've just said, my least favourite. I just feel it doesn't have as much to offer as the others. There have been many times when I've travelled through this terminal and I haven't even been able to get a seat. There's just not as many restaurants or bars compared to the other terminals. It just feels really small. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Have you visited? What do you think? Anyway, enough waffle. It's time to board the plane.
Hello.
Hiya. For this journey, we are flying with Ryanair on a Boeing 737-800. Our flight was included in the voucher deal, but as with most budget airlines, there are a few extra sneaky costs. There's adding hand luggage, choosing the seats, and we paid around £40 extra each to fly from Manchester rather than from London. The flight from Manchester to Prague takes roughly 2 hours, so it's a fairly quick hop across Europe. Prague is of course the capital of the Czech Republic and is famous for its stunning medieval architecture, historic old town, and of course its world-class beer. Every year I'm told around 300,000 British tourists visit Prague, and they are drawn in by its rich history, vibrant nightlife and affordable prices compared to other European cities. So, we're visiting in February when the temperatures tend to range between -2 and 6 degrees. It is definitely time for the big coat to come out. The city, I'm told, has a magical charm in winter, especially if there's a dusting of snow over the Charles Bridge and Prague Castle. But enough about that for now, because we are going to see it all very soon. Let's get settled in for the flight, and I'll see you when we land in Prague. We've now landed at the main international gateway to the Czech Republic. It's one of the busiest airports in Central Europe, handling over 15 million passengers a year, and it's well connected to the city centre. But before we head there, let's take a moment to learn a few things about Prague. The official language here is Czech, but many people, especially in the tourist areas, speak English. The currency is the Czech koruna, or CZK, and it currently works out that about 100 of those is around 3.28 of your Great British pound. When it comes to local customs, one key thing to remember is that Czechs take politeness seriously. Always say Dobrý den, good day, when entering shops or restaurants, and don't forget to tip, around 10% in bars and restaurants. Now, stepping into the baggage hall, we are immediately reminded of just how important beer is in this city. The Czech Republic has the highest beer consumption per capita in the world, with the average person drinking around 184 litres a year. That's nearly half a litre per day, every day. With beer much cheaper than the UK and a buzzing nightlife, it's no surprise that Prague is a top destination for stag do's. But while some have a great time, others, well, let's just say not every stag do ends well in Prague. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly what I mean. I'm told the public transport system is quite good in Prague, but we just jumped in a taxi on this occasion. You will expect to pay around £20 each way for an Uber. We did ours online in advance and it was really straightforward. The distance for us to get from Prague Airport to our apartment in the new town was around 25 minutes. When we arrived in Prague, it was too early to check into our apartment, so we dropped off our bags and headed out in search of some refreshment. And that's when we stumbled across a fascinating little place called Beer Point. This is a self-serve beer bar with 14 taps on the pump. The way it works is simple. When you arrive, you load up a card with money, and then you can go along, tap the card for the beer that you want, and then you pour it yourself. You can have as much or as little as you like, which is brilliant if you enjoy sampling different beers without committing to a full glass each time. Each tap has a screen showing the beer's name, where it's brewed and its percentage. There were chocolate beers, fruity beers, and even some pretty strong ones. While they didn't have any 0% options on draft, they did have cans available for non-drinkers. We also ordered some bar snacks while we were there. A homemade sausage and these delicious cheese balls coated in nuts. Honestly, this would be such a great place to come with a group and I definitely recommend it. If we've got any beer fans watching, let me know what's your favourite country when it comes to beer. Drop your recommendations in the comments.
Pretending to know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's very fruity as well. I've got 13 more to try.
Where are we going next, AD?
I don't know.
We're going on a...
Battle.
No, we're going on a ghost tour. Prague is widely considered one of the most haunted cities in Europe, and so if you've watched this channel before, then you will understand why I had to make a ghost tour one of the first activities of the trip. Having booked online in advance, we met up with our guide, who took us through the dark streets and alleyways to learn about the rich history, dark legends, and spooky stories. There were lots of tours to choose from, but this particular one led us underground into the underbelly of Prague, where we visited ancient rooms and a historical torture dungeon. The tour took just over an hour to complete, and it was a good way to get our bearings in a new city. But if it's spooky stories from Prague that you are interested in, then please do subscribe to this channel, as I've got a whole video coming up in the next few weeks on exactly that. Right then, let me get you guys up to speed because a lot has happened since this morning. So we came from the airport and we arrived at our hotel where we left the bags because it was too early to check in. We then had a little moosey around in the local area and then we left the bar and we headed back to our hotel to actually check in. But unfortunately, we were informed that we couldn't check in because a stag party had been in and wrecked all the rooms. So that was a bit disappointing. And if you were on that stag party, how very, very dare you spoil it for everybody else. No, seriously, they were really accommodating though, and they moved us to a hotel just around the corner, which is called the Hotel Assenzio. So we came here for one night. Here was really, really nice. The only thing I will criticise is it's been absolutely red hot in the room. I'm absolutely baking in this. But they did give us a free breakfast, so that's a bonus. Prague Diary Part 1. Thank you to everybody for watching. I really, really appreciate your interaction on this page, so do let me know if you've got any comments or any questions. And if you'd like to stick around and find out what the actual hotel is meant to look like, then stay tuned for Part 2. See you next week, everyone. Take care. Bye.